Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives.
Hey everybody, this is Wileen Benson, and this is our Daily Gratitude Call. Thanks for joining our call. So whether you're here live or if you're here as a podcast participant, I want to encourage you all to participate fully. This is an active participation podcast. It isn't something that you do while you're driving. You know, you can listen in, but I want to encourage you at least the first minute and a half that we do our private meditation to pull over and grab a piece of paper or get your phone and write some notes and participate in this meditation with us so that you can actively participate in the mastermind that's created here on this call. This morning, we always do a few rounds of gratitude. For those of you who are on live, we always do a few rounds of gratitude to kind of get us warmed up for the call. And I felt I put a little mark by the ones that seem to fit this particular category. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There were 10 things shared that felt like they were somehow related to, like, me and God creating a better version of myself. And you know, we do a lot of that. There's a lot of action that we take, definitely. And God has a big hand in that too, because of inspiration that we get on how to act, and also experiences that seem to come into our lives that help to shape us, that help to teach us lessons and things like that, that help us become the person that we are. I had an experience yesterday where I was complaining a little bit about God and the way that He was running my life. and I realized that every single thing that has happened in my life, all the experiences that I have brought me to where I am today. And if I had gotten my way, you know, like 15 years ago, I would be the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company, and that would have been the extent of my influence. And I realize now that that wasn't, you know, I got laid off from that position, and I felt like you'll read that in my book. I even share a little bit about that situation in my book, and it just felt like the end of life itself. It was like this was my retirement. This was, you know, supposed to be my last job ever. And it didn't turn out that way. And I just can't even imagine the number of people that wouldn't have received my influence and wouldn't have become a part of my life. You guys on this gratitude call would not even exist in my world if I had gotten my way. So I am really, really grateful for God's hand in helping me to become me. And I had it written a certain way, but now I'm actually going to change it. So we're going to focus for 90 seconds on God's hand in becoming me. That's how we'll write it. I'll write it. So minute and 30 seconds, 90 seconds, that we're just going to focus silently and just see what comes up. So just write down whatever your private meditation brings to you, and then we'll share afterwards. Who else just joined us?
Susan.
Hey, Susan. Welcome. We're just about to start the timer for 90 seconds. We're going to focus on gratitude for God's hand in becoming me. Begin. Right. I am really grateful that I don't always get my way. And almost never, actually, come to think of it. It seems like everything that I get perturbed about, because I'm like going a certain way, and then I start getting frustrated or whatever, and then that's when I start looking for and being open to new options, shortcuts, different, routes, whatever, and that's when the real way is, and the easiest way is revealed to me. And I think that we must get this vision of the way that it's supposed to be, just like when we're setting goals and stuff, to encourage us to take action. It's like, oh, this sounds so cool. I'm going to actually do something. But it's after the action is taken that the end is revealed. I'm going to post on the Breakthroughs Gratitude page today a picture of my vision board. It's completely empty. I just, over the weekend, I cleaned it completely off. I didn't look at it. I just took it all off. And I just thought, you know what? It is time for a fresh start. It's time to just close the chapter of this book and open a new chapter. And I don't even know what the chapter looks like or the book looks like. I have no idea what's next. But I just felt like the things that I had on my vision board, I've had on there for so long. And it's not that I gave up or anything. I just thought, you know what? These have been here on here a long time. I just feel like I need a new fresh start, a new perspective. And yesterday in my daily GPS, I was writing some things, and I wrote, it's not, me. I'm not the one in charge, and it's not me with God as my partner right now. It's just God. And this is really hard for me because I'm a very independent person, and I always I feel like I do take action well when I receive inspiration, but I'm very much like to feel in control of, where I'm going. And this is a time where I get to completely be blind, and it's a new experience for me, and I'm excited to see what it's going to bring. Who else would like to share?
Well, again, I can relate so fully with you. Lately, this past weekend, again, I've been creating something for a while, and it's not taking shape the way I thought or in the timing that I thought, and so I just kind of let it go. But I found myself going, well, I got to get back to that. And so God's hand in becoming me. This weekend, I went back and forth between an energy healing conference and a singles conference, and I at the energy healing conference, I was volunteering at it, and I had my path crossed with a couple of old friends. One said, "Oh, so-and-so's here," and I said, "Oh my gosh, okay, great. I hope out of all these people I can bump into her." And I did, and my volunteering stations were not, I picked them, but I didn't know what they were. I just thought I knew what they were. And so I thought I would know what they would be like. But I picked them, and then when I saw them, I thought, oh, man, I judged them to be kind of still, and I wanted to be moving. But in that stillness, in that behind the curtains, I got to sit and reflect and think and create. And so I know that that's where I was supposed to be. And then in crossing paths with these certain people and having a little clearing with someone, I could clearly see that this is part of what was needed in me becoming me becoming more me becoming doing the thing that I am called to do. And so it's interesting because it looks different. All of these things that I've been working toward have just been helping me to see this the creation that God, I feel like God has intended for me to be doing. And it's just really beautiful that I felt so enlightened, like my mind was enlightened, and I trusted, and I let go, because I want to, like I just got to let go and let God guide me like I've done before. But sometimes I just take the wheel again and think He's driving, but I'm really driving.
Mm-hmm.
And
no,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, I know you do.
I want to make a comment that, last, I think it was on Friday, you said that you ran into a friend and that you hadn't seen for like 20 years or 30 years or something like that. And so, I think there's not a coincidence there. There must be something that you running into old friends, there must be some, divine guidance with that. Divine
mm-hmm. Yes, I'm so grateful that I'm taking a deep breath and just trusting that He's there and His hand is in my life and becoming me.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Who else would like to share?
I wanted to share of that. In my daily GPS for the past few days, Heavenly Father has really been teaching me and helping me to see myself and my whole situation and my children in a whole new light and understanding. And then last night he gave me steps to keep this new vision in sight so that I can make a more permanent change. And I am so grateful for that.
Beautiful. Thank you. I know those concrete steps are so powerful, but they don't come until we get to that point, where we're open to receive it. Thank you. Let's get one more share. All right, well, maybe it's time for us to shift over to our permission process. I appreciate everything everybody has shared. It's put me in just a really good, safe space, I think, to change and to be open to receive. This is, I'm choosing that it's not a struggle. I'm choosing that it's easy for me to just let God tell me what to do every day and to just be completely open and willing to take action steps regardless whether they feel like they are going towards anything or not. And so that's the energy that I'm putting into this permission process today, is just being 100% open and trusting. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath. And as you're breathing in this next time, I'm going to invite us to envision that there is a column of light that goes all the way up from heaven. And a lot of times I ask that we envision that it goes to the top of our head, but this time I'm actually going to invite us to almost like a spotlight, that this light from heaven is extending down and engulfing our whole being, and that this spotlight is specifically for us, that God has His eye on us individually. And so just see that light coming down and just warmth embracing us, surrounding us almost like a nice warm blanket, and feeling the warmth penetrate our bodies all the way down to our very soul. Just feel that light and warmth inside and outside, completely filled and surrounded. And just being in this space of being embraced and loved. I'm just going to ask this question. Just be open to listen and to receive your answer. And the question is, God, what do you have for me? What is the next thing that I need to learn? What am I open and ready and willing to learn that will help prepare me to become more me? What is the one thing that you can teach me today and that I can receive that will help me become more me? And as you receive that information, I invite you to listen for any limiting beliefs that might be coming into this space. And these limiting beliefs are all based in fear. They are an opposing nature, but I invite you to embrace them just as you did this warm blanket feeling. Bring those limiting beliefs in and embrace them as if they are a long-lost friend. Grateful for this new knowledge and the understanding of what we need to change, what we need to choose differently in our lives to be able to fully step into this new information that we've just received from God. So invite those limiting beliefs in to be part of your creation and welcome them as a long-lost friend. For in reality, they have been friends of ours for a long time. We just maybe have not acknowledged them. And as you embrace and welcome that limiting belief, I invite you to just have a little conversation with this friend that you've been giving home to for so long. And just have this conversation out loud if it would serve you, as long as you're muted. And have this conversation of gratitude that this limiting belief was there for you when you needed it, and it kept you safe, gave you a feeling of safety, and that you're seeing now for the first time really consciously what this limiting belief has meant to you and how it has shaped your life, what it has done for you, how it has maybe even held you back or created things in your life that produced lessons for you. And again, just with a total feeling of gratitude, examine the cost and the consequences that this limiting belief has created for you and allowed you to get to the place that you are right now. And as you're having this conversation, take as much time as you need. And as soon as you have gotten to a point of finding common ground of gratitude, I invite you to, with as gentle and gracious language as possible, to, if you choose to give yourself permission and to give this limiting belief permission to leave, and to be gone from your life, to be changed into something positive. And if you are ready to change that limiting belief into something positive, and give yourself permission to do that, and say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
All right, and then go ahead and choose some new beliefs. What are some new beliefs that will honor this old limiting belief and let it go, and also choose into new beliefs that will allow you to create a different outcome, that will allow you to embrace this new information that you've received from God about your next steps of becoming you. we have a couple minutes to share. And before we share, I want to just invite anybody who is listening to this call, if there's anything that has been created through this meditative process, the permission process that we just did, that you don't know what to do with. If there have been some things that you've discovered that you're feeling like you need some support in continuing to work through, I want to invite you to have a conversation with me, just a 15-minute call, and to share with me what you are learning, and possibly if I can shine a little bit of a different perspective on that to help you work through it a little bit faster and better. I'd be more than willing to do that. And you can have access to my calendar by going to AskWilene.com. And when you do that, you'll be able to schedule a 15-minute call with me, and there's no charge for that. So I just wanted to give that invitation before we start sharing. The vision that I was shown at the very beginning was super emotional, as you could tell when I came back on, I'm sure. The words that came to me are, I am enough, I have enough, I'm happy, I'm whole, and it's all true. There's, I think that's one of the reasons why, this is what I'm feeling right now, is that was one of the reasons why I took all that stuff off the vision board. It all felt fake. It's like these are just things and goals. They don't mean anything to me, and I think that's why. Obviously, I'm not done, but in this moment, I feel enough and happy and whole and complete. Who else would like to share?
I would like to share.
Go ahead, Colleen.
Go ahead, Mom.
I'm sorry. My issues were a lot gender, because the bishop told my daughter that she had to wait for a while to go on a mission. And when my sister was on a mission, this is 30 years ago, she was told by her mission president that the only reasons why girls go on a mission is to wreck the cars and to flirt with the missionaries. And I felt devalued. I felt like we didn't have enough to offer, and that definitely was in him. And I realized that I have felt that with each of my daughters as they've gone on a mission, that they aren't as valuable as the elders or something in that way. And even their homecomings, I don't know, I think I might have even created it a little bit, that they weren't honored and they didn't get to even do like a going away talk or anything like that. It felt like their offering was not enough, and I felt that too, often. And I've realized that it is just my creation, and I get to look at it a whole new way, and to really see how genders are divine, and that we have each something so valuable. And it sounds almost trite to say that, but it is that we don't recognize our power, and we don't give it credibility, and it actually devalues us and devalues our offering. So my new beliefs are, I support and love genders and love the process of fatherhood, and I see that the world is turning against that and saying, they aren't necessary or whatever, but I do recognize that fathers bring a unique thing to, mothers and to their daughters, and I am so grateful for that. And I see that we could maybe step up in that direction a little bit better, to honor the opposite gender and ourselves, and to really look at the family proclamation to the world, because it is to the world. It's not just to Christians or anyone in particular. but to really look at that and examine that and see how we can honor each other and respect and give more credibility to what I remember being in a council and just not feeling like my participation, I was just there to listen. And so that, I know I've created that. I know I have undervalued myself and kept quiet at times because I just felt like it wasn't my place, and I have undervalued gender relations. And I see that the more we step into power, even just with our breathing and with everything, the more that we step into power, the more we honor each other.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Any kind of confusion is always, a dark energy. So getting that clarity is super powerful. Thank you, Colleen. Tyree.
She might have had to step off the call. I should have let her go first. She has a
okay. All right. Well, we are at the end of our time. So I encourage everybody to share on the Breakthrough with Gratitude page. If you're listening and you're not part of that Facebook group, it's a really great way for us to all stay connected, to support each other in our gratitude process, in our permission process, and it's just a wonderful place to be able to share and really anchor in these things that you're learning. I really appreciate everybody that has been on the call today, either listening in as on the recording or live, and for everything that has been shared. It's been a beautiful process today. Encourage you to share, if there's anybody who who is struggling with some of the situations in their lives that are helping them become them, but they're having a hard time seeing that, to share this recording with them and, see if you can uplift someone in need. So I thank you all for being on the call, and we look forward to tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Time right here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much for listening, and I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. We'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileenBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.